With the help of the Almighty, I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His message, and so sanctify His name, inshallah, bring peace to the world. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings to all on this solemn occasion. I'm deeply thankful for the organizers, all these beautiful organizations who created this Freedom for Palestine conference. May the Almighty bless them. First, I must convey the message of my brothers and sisters of the Jewish faith from Al-Quds, from Jerusalem, and from around the world, because I am not standing here in my own stead. I am standing here as a voice for the Jewish people around the world who are true to the Jewish religion. We state, Kalbi ma Palestine, Kalbi ma Gaza. Our hearts are with you, people of Gaza, Palestine. We are crying, we are feeling, we are suffering with you. We are humiliated, we are frustrated what is being done in the name of my religion. This terrible Nakba, this terrible catastrophe is being perpetrated in the name of the Almighty, in the name of religion. This is unacceptable. We were just witnessing 3 orphans, and I don't think there was an eye that was dry in this audience. But this was being witnessed now for 3 months. Minute by minute, the world is witnessing. A heart of stone would melt. How is it possible that the world is silent? But there is something here. Somebody just has to wake up after 2 hours of sleep. He set his alarm clock, and he hears it ringing, but he has to get up. But he thinks, I'm so tired. Then he thinks, oh, really? You know what? It's not so important. Maybe something. He finds an excuse and he goes back to sleep for a few minutes. The people around the world are silent because they found an excuse. They found something called anti-Semitism. They found an excuse that although they're watching with their own eyes how people are being murdered, slaughtered, beautiful children, innocent people, almost 24,000 people, and people are in the meantime standing on the streets crying from pain and suffering. Why? How could the world be silent? It's because Zionism and the state of Israel is selling a narrative called anti-Semitism. They are using my grandparents who were killed in Auschwitz, that we died and the world was silent and the world feels guilty, and they're trying to use this concept and state that the Palestinian people and the Muslim people at large are haters of Jews. They are racist. They do not embrace other people. How disgusting, how repulsive, when the history shows that when the Jews suffered hundreds of years by the Inquisition, and throughout history till recently, where did the Jewish people find a home? Where did we flourish? Amongst the Muslim countries and in Palestine, in the Ottoman Empire. Clearly, this is a fact of history that cannot be denied. But there is another narrative. The Zionists make a narrative, and it's an excuse for the world. So I am here to declare and state unambiguously, Judaism is a religion of 3,000 years to be subservient to the Almighty, not to kill and not to steal. not to oppress, not to occupy. Judaism does not allow this. In fact, since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago, we are forbidden to have 1 centimeter of sovereignty. And the rabbis around the world, when Zionism raised its ugly head in Europe, well before 1948, the rabbis around the world stated, this is unacceptable. This is a rebellion against God. They laugh. The Zionists laugh at the Jews who says God protects us. They say, where is God? So they're going to make a state to protect themselves. They're rooted in blasphemy, in heresy. They were not religious. They're using the religion as a facade, as to masquerade, to legitimize an evil, an occupation. And all the rabbinical authorities around the world said this is false and unacceptable, and they pleaded with the United Nations. In 1947, the chief rabbi of Palestine, Rabbi Dushinsky, pleaded with the United Nations, and he said, and I'm quoting him, we furthermore wish to express our definite opposition to a Jewish state in any part of Palestine. And he was ignored, and all the authorities of Judaism were ignored because the Zionists had the power, had the ears of the great powers of Britain and then of America. That is the only reason why they were able to occupy. The Satan is really the only reason, the Shaitan, because it doesn't make sense and defies logic to give a minority a power over a majority. The majority, nobody can dispute the majority were Muslims living in Palestine. How did the United Nations permit a minority to call something called a Jewish state when that's calling for contention, that's calling for hate and for a divide? But that is what happened, and they're continuing for 75 years of occupying, of rivers of blood, of Palestinians and of Jews. Why did the Jews die? Because there's a division of a religion? When history attests we lived together and flourished together. They're dying because there is a selfish, flawed nationalism that was put on the land of the Holy Land of Palestine against the will of the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jewish populace. And the world is being controlled by a few major powers, and they're giving them that right, and they're supporting them. And if they feel guilty, they buy into the narrative of anti-Semitism. But we are extending our hand. We are extending our hand to the world to change their policies from evil to good. They should stop supporting this false narrative, this evil contention of calling Palestinians villains. We are extending our hand to the world to give respect, just as you would give for the Christians, you would give to the Pope the respect. And for the Muslims, you would give to the Ayatollahs and the Imams. Give respect to the Jewish communities, the distinguished rabbis around the world who from day one said this is not Judaism, it's clearly a rebellion against God. And let us understand and clarify and let the world state clearly and unambiguously what is anti-Semitism, who is anti-Semitic, the quintessential anti-Semitism. The personification of anti-Semitism is the Zionist state of Israel that is causing and doing the death of the Palestinians and our Jews for 75 years. Let not our intelligence be insulted. History shows you 75 years, prior to 75 years, we were living and loving each other, living in the same households. How come the world is ignoring the facts on the ground? So we are pleading with the world leaders. Wake up, take the opportunity to bring godliness, to bring peace, to save the people of Palestine, of Gaza, to save the Jews, their souls that are being stolen from them, and to save humanity. Why, let us breathe and to the occupation of Palestine. Let us do the Almighty's will, that we should all be able to live together in peace and harmony and serve God as we've had for hundreds of years. Inshallah, a free Palestine, a free Gaza. Assalamu alaikum.